out their shoes if they ain't tripping with me. I don't give a fuck about views, nigga, they listen to me. Hate to call it feminine energy when they switching on me. Got my mind right, and they can't CP. Mind start mixing this shit just like a GC. Nigga, I remodel my kitchen off of my EP. Looking like a wizard with minds, but not from DC. Go and get your people, put some money on it. Wish I had $1 for every nigga that fronted on them. Beat drop, nigga, I'm dumping and going dummy on it. He don't stand a chance with me, hitter, I get the hunting for him. California into Hawaii, look at me stunting on him. Local Larry looking for leverage, nigga, that's nothing for him. My reach long, I'm Riddick Bowe. Money made with the counter off of the shoulder roll. It's P Jizzle, the top 10, the totem pole. Beanie Siegel, bully the booth, they all know it, dog. Don't ever think these other niggas fucking with me. Clean shot straight from the shooters, I leave them dusting for me.
Welcome to The Real by Let's Talk. And tonight, Monday night, a little earlier than usual. We're doing it early because we both got things to do. Just say if you're on the East Coast, make sure you guys are hydrated. Major heat wave. The East Coast is not expecting this. Outside of the West Coast, and most people don't realize that the East Coast is very, very humid. So with the humidity, you liable to go outside and it be sunny out, and in 5 minutes, because it's like 90-something degrees in the humidity, it may start raining. It could be raining on one side of the street and not raining on the other side of the street. So take your precautions this week all the way until next Monday, actually, and be prepared. But anyway, it's Monday night, and we're going to do Season 8 of The Chi, Episode 6. Coming back from episode 5, which for most people was a very good episode, this one didn't land well. This episode was a dud, in my opinion. It was just poorly written. Most of the episode was disengagement party and a lot of bad scenes, unfortunately, a lot of useless scenes. I'll just get it off the bat. Why is Rashad so worried about this chick who got killed? Where when you look at it, we only seen her in like 3 or 4 episodes prior. Like he's getting bent out of shape because she got killed. Because she decided to lie on him to get him locked up. When she got asked to take the money, she could have easily said, no, I don't want to get involved in that. Instead, she took the money, got him locked up, went back on her word, and she got eventually killed. And he's worried about it. Like, it's just dumb. For those that seen it, and I hope everybody's seen it, because it was a trash episode. So there's one scene where he runs down on Reg, puts the gun to Reg, and let's be honest, Reg was just playing Russian roulette a week earlier with Jake, 2 weeks earlier with Jake, and now he's worried about if Rashad kills him, and then say, oh, I'll tell you, but I just want you to bring me back in with my brothers. I understand that concept, but Reg would never been scared of Rashad like that. He just wouldn't have been. I think it was cheap. I think it was poor. I think this was a bad episode for the Chi. And I'm not saying it for just this season. I think it was a bad episode for all the seasons, and it left a bad taste in a lot of the fans, the supporters' mouth, where literally, and I'm going to let Dwayne talk because I don't want to dog the speech, literally, it got Dwayne saying exactly what he said to me yesterday after he watched the episode.
Yeah, man, there was nothing redeeming about this episode. This episode set the finale, the last season back. It just set it back, man. Like, where do you begin with the nonsense? Like, everybody got loose lips. Everybody, what did we need the Jackie and Bakari sister scene for? What we need that for? Like, all right, you told Bakari's sister what's going on. Tiff just came right out and spilt the beans to Bakari that she killed Nuck. And Victor's response was like, "Yo, what is you doing? Oh my God." We know Bakari can't hold water. He gonna tell somebody. He can't hold water. Tip told him, "Don't tell Lene." But and you see the foreshadowing when the coming attractions when Keisha confronts him about no, you don't really want to know. Like, why you even saying that? Like, they've made Bakari a clown. They have
A person who we were introduced to where he got away with murder.
yeah,
And they made him a clown where he just got loose lips where he just talks. Like you said, go ahead, my bad, bro.
they've disrespected Shimon Brown Jr. and Michael Epps because Jake and Papa, they're just throwaways when we should be highlighting them in this last season. They're throwaways. You got these three kids that they concentrate on episode after episode after episode. So now these kids, first of all, invited to an adult grown engagement party. Doesn't make sense. Tiff and Trig just killed somebody in that house. They ain't gonna have that house down where they limited where people can get to. These kids just able to get into Tiff's personal room, inside her personal closet, and take weed and get high. Why are we so invested in these three kids when it's the last season of the show? Why are
And
we
and
wasting
regardless
so
and
much time?
regardless of the correlation of the other three, Kevin, Jacob, and Papa, they're not them. They're not them. Like it was good. It was a cute little thing to bring them in, but really, it done war is welcome now.
I
Come
never
on now.
thought it was cute or good. It made no sense. You're wrapping a season up. Why? Why? Why did you have to? Lene and whatever that girl name is. I don't even know what Zeke's daughter's name is. Them two. They shouldn't be in any more scenes for the rest of this. They bring nothing to the table. It's dumb. The Jackie Long character and his girl being there, dumb. When Smitty get all tough, so
Yeah.
Smitty and Big Mike just gonna come in there, popping off the tip, and Trig, who's a killer, and now her bodyguard ain't gonna check them, ain't,
Ain't gonna say
ain't gonna put
nothing.
them in line. I'm not even talking about the shot stuff because that's a waste of anybody's time. Because like Lena and these writers, what are y'all doing, man? Like we should all be feeling good about all these episodes to end the series, man. Like I don't want to get too deep, but I will. Like it's not a lot of our stories being told out here, man. And you were telling our story for 8 years, and it's very disappointing that you have a throwaway episode like this, and it's episode 6, and you got 4 more to go. But can we trust you to give us something good in these last 4
No,
episodes?
no.
Keisha's annoying as ever. Now you marrying who's supposed to be the man of your dreams, right? Been waiting to get married. You wanted to propose, but all you care about is where's Nook. Do you feel Nook more than you feel Emmett? To me, it seems like you feel Nook more than you feel Emmett. It's just not like that. Whenever I call him, he calls me right back.
At
He
least
has
for
the
Ronnie.
whole world.
At least for Ronnie. We saw 4 scenes with him with Ronnie.
And
This
now Tiff doing the dumb stuff, right? Bakari, you go stay in Nook's apartment. How? When everybody knew he was on the outs and he was selling pills for Red.
and then we done already seen the previews where she basically told Keisha that Bakari might have had something to do with it. Like, why would like
Yeah.
what? Tiff is just real raggedy. I know she always has done some weird stuff. What else supporting gaming? But it's just amazing that she has been so raggedy. But the whole episode, Dwayne, was about this one thing I'm about to show you.
Yeah.
We don't need to know this though. Like Nook's character, and the reason why I put this up, Nook's character was not that big where this is that important. His character was he was an asshole to show, like, or the antagonistic of the show, the gangster of the show, like Duda. Move on.
This
Like,
Joker was sex trafficking young girls when he first
Yes,
came on the scene.
exactly.
That's what he was
Yes.
doing. He was sex trafficking. Did we forget? And it's just bad, man. They did a very, very like for me, just in the series, man. Like
Yeah,
the
well, it ain't no Nook no more supporting gaming. It's just that they used this episode as like everybody's worried about Nook. And even Tiff saying it, well, Nook had a lot of enemies. Well, he did have a lot of enemies. Why are y'all so pressed for him? Like Smitty or Mike, whoever. This, you know how it goes. If you a street dude, this next man up. It just it was a shitty episode for a shitty way of being the last episode, as they say, episode 806. Episode 806 might have destroyed your whole series. That's how bad this episode was. Because unfortunately, what you said, Dwayne, which is so true, this episode made you focus on something that been going on for 4 seasons. Keisha's freaking aggravating. Keisha's annoying. Her whole character arc, ever since her situation where she got kidnapped and had this baby thought by the kidnapper, her whole character arc has been a nag, an aggravationist. Like you were friends to Emmett where Emmett used to vent to you, but you don't serve no purpose on the show. And I hate to say it like that, but we basically been tricked for 5 seasons, at least 5 seasons with Keisha's character. Then you think about Rashad, like, what are y'all doing with this guy? Like, 1 minute he's chill, demons in his head. Now, like, that is still triggering Jake's brother. You put a gun on Reg, like, because what you gonna do? And now what you gonna do to Rosalind? You was so scared. 1 minute you got Rashad as the old Jason Weaver actor, as playing basically Simba, scared in a shadow. Now all of a sudden he's a street dude. He got a lawyer as a girlfriend.
be honest.
Why is he risking all this stuff for this dumb stuff?
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm not even wasting time on his character. It's a waste of time. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Prediction: Nook will raise from the grave, steal a tuxedo, crash Keisha and Emmett wedding to snitch on Tiff and expose her. I mean,
how does
support.
she know? How does Tiff know? Right? How does she know that Alicia threatened to kill somebody and bury them in her backyard for them to do the same thing?
Yeah.
So Trig, who got his nickname because he's a killer, right? At the end of last season, he moves a dead body.
Goes to jail for moving the body.
Which gets him in jail. And so this year, he gonna take a dead body and put it in the yard? Hell, in the other series we review, Rock took her brother and just dumped his ass in the trash somewhere. That is more realistic than this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, supporting gaming. That's their slogan that the actors like to say. It's the shy, anything can happen. But like Dwayne said, you come back with Trig with going to jail for doing something dumb. Coming back the following season, and he's that dumb enough again to be there when she kills. Like, when you think about it, what was the purpose of you going to stop Tiff to tell her that Nook killed Rob? Okay, she did it. Now what? Like you go, like you said, Wayne, the body in the backyard, it just don't make sense. And then Tiff can't hold water. Tiff just loose lips. The whole Shy, everybody's talking. I hate to say it, the only person in the Shy that don't got a big mouth, and he's never had a big mouth, is Jake. Jake never talked.
The name of this episode should be Loose Lips. That's it. Everybody tell on everybody. Oh, don't tell Lene. And then Lene still thinks she a damn news reporter or something. And Bakari was like, well, I ain't got to tell you. I'm not with you no more. It's just
stupid.
It's
and
true.
I got my own place.
That's a true comment right there. That's exactly what they did to Victor. He shot.
Yeah.
Bodyguard?
But if he's her bodyguard, like, you knew that Nook was the head of the mob. Like y'all act like y'all don't wrote it in that Smitty. Okay, Nook was there when Duda got killed, but y'all act like Smitty and Mike would be revenging Nook. Next man up. Mike just turned back over. Mike is without a home. Or I could do security. Like you've destroyed whatever benefit of the doubt for people that watch this show. You've destroyed our ability to look at this show going forward to be like, okay, I look forward to shit about the show but ending. That's it.
Yeah, it's been they start. The problem is they'll start a season off so good, but episode 5 you kill Nook, and okay, where do you go from here? What story are you telling? Like, and it's crazy because Emmett concentrating on this one son. What about his other 3 babies that he got? He got 2 other baby mamas, plus his baby with Keisha. They don't ever think about EJ no more. It's like, no, I don't blame you, support gaming. I don't blame you at all, man. You know me, I try to I watch all the shows, man. That got people that look like me in it.
And right now, like
Like
Dwayne said, it's a
there's
time when
another
we don't.
show. There's another show with people that look like me in it. The All American that's coming on this final season. This is on this final season. Rain and Canaan on this final season. So we're losing shows, man. Like we're losing programs out here with people that look like us, and we just want them to finish so that we can remember the series fondly. Like we all know, episode 10 is all going to be surrounding the wedding, and you're going to get everybody coming back and all that. So we get that. But what are you doing with 7, 8, and 9? What are you doing with them? More of these 3 kids?
Really
it, it,
bad, Joe.
it just this last episode didn't make too much sense to me, man. It didn't really build on those stories. What did it build on?
And then even with the wedding planning and whatever's going on, I'm telling you the previews. I know the previews don't give you much, but like, why are we seeing Emmett and Keisha going back and forth with this wedding? Why do we have to have drama with the way they're planning their wedding? Like, come on, let's get this over with. Like, it shouldn't be this hard. I mean, really, like, it's senseless. Number one, you want to have a wedding, lead a show off right, bring back certain actors or whatever. It just doesn't mean anything. And then you got, even though I'm giving Jake some credit, like you basically destroyed Jake and Papa. Like, oh, you're gonna smoke when you get home, and you're gonna drink. Like what? Like what the hell was that? That whole dialogue was just dumb. Like Jake, you smoke, you drink.
They have nothing for Jake and Papa to do, bro. You might as well not even put them on it. But if you think about it, in the last 3 episodes, how much screen time are they getting?
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of that was for, and why does she think that was strategic? Even if you want to try to blame Bakari, if people come asking, you told Bakari you did it. I can see if you'd have been like, Nook out of town. From what I know, me and Nook had an argument. He ain't in his apartment. He out of town. Bakari, go stay there. So because if Bakari get pinched or whatever, he won't know. If he get pinched for it, he basically gonna say, "Oh, she killed him."
It's just it. We don't even gotta do a long review show on it because it's not worth it. It's really not. And then for people like me, and I said week after week after week, I'm not going out of my way. I'm gonna wait till 9 o'clock on Sunday because this is what they giving me. It's sad, man. I would love to laugh at some of this stuff, but it's not even laughable, man, because they're playing in our face, man. And I stole that from another review show, but he's 100% right. It do feel like a cartoon. You're 100% right. Support gaming. It's just they got all these different writers, and then they like rotate who writing what episode, but they really ain't collabing together because you can't come with an episode like you did with episode 5 where you have somebody get off and then Trig. This is a street dude. He knows better. He's been a killer. He was helping Duda remove bodies. Nobody else kept the body in the place that they killed him at. Except for Rosalind. She just left Alicia there to die. She ain't even care about, somebody cleaning up the body. So overall, man,
And
if
Dwayne,
I know I'm jumping the gun, but if I had to rate it, I'm giving it a 1. And I mean that. I'm not trying to do that for jokes or giggles or nothing. That's all I could give it. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful and give it a 0, even though I kind of want to. It's terrible, man. It's terrible what they did with this last episode. It's terrible.
I'm gonna reiterate something that Dwayne said, and this is what happens with these shows, right? The writers' room, and last week's episode was directed by the legend Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend has been in black cinema all his life. He's a Chicago native. This week's episode was directed by Kelly Yu. I don't know who that is, but you could see that these episodes don't correlate. Even, yes, you may say, okay, the writer's table, the writers, when you're doing the filming, it coexists and they'll line them up 5 and 6. But from a director standpoint, you can clearly see that 5 and 6 are not attached to each other. And this is what we've been having.
They're attached because Nuck died in 5, and that was the theme of 6. But it's just you telling too many bad stories in the midst of that. Like, are you making that the main story? If you are, then why with these 3 little boys? Like, I need Lena or somebody to say, they're all into this paying the last 2 seasons. Are you paying homage to Jake, Papa, and Ken? You know how you could have did that better, Lena and writers? You could have had Jake and Papa having a cipher, thinking about back on old times and show old clips of the 3 of them when they were young. Yo, remember when we did this?
When Reg made them fight.
Yeah, remember when we did this? Like, y'all sit here and y'all drop some wonderful things on your social medias where you do the evolution of characters and it's 30 minutes with old clips. I'd rather Jake be like, come on, Papa, you depressed, man. Let's think about the good times. And they show old videos or something like that.
Nah, he didn't supporting Gabriel. Robert Townsend didn't do anything with Force. It was Mario Van Peebles that did Force. It was Mario Van Peebles that did Force. It wasn't Robert Townsend. Yeah, it just odd, clunky, as we would say, Dwayne. It just doesn't make sense. The episodes, and I hate to use the phrase. I know Dwayne hates the phrase because we use the phrase when we talk about sports. They don't marry each other. Just all over. Like you said, where are we going with these kids? Why? Like Rashad, I just don't know. I don't know where to go. Like you said, you gave it a 4. I mean a 1. My bad. I jumped out the window. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Yeah.
And a 2 comes from 1 you need for a 1 for the film and a 1 for the actors. That's it. But it was terrible. It was a terrible episode. Terrible, terrible episode. It was bad. It was trash. It was a disgrace to people that have been supporting and watching this show. It highlighted all the flaws that we've watched in this series, in my opinion.
I want to do a quick fact check. I did. Support gaming, you're right. Robert Townsend did do some things with stars and with power. I just reviewed
with Force?
with Force. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, so did Mario Van Peebles, but it said here on AI that he did do some things with Force as well. Back when they had Ashanti Showstopper and all that. So he ain't do nothing with Kanan,
Your
but
ratings is better than mine. I would have
uh,
given it a negative 99999. Yeah.
it was really, really bad, man. And I know there's other people that do review shows, and I know like one cat did one, and he was very critical. And then Bart started like personally attacking him, and Lena said something. Well, listen, man, you'll get these content creators that's gonna be sweet and give y'all everything sweet and all that. But if we're being very, very honest, man, they have this thing where they come out fast sometimes in these seasons, and they don't keep the intensity of it up.
And
You
what's
know,
crazy, and I'm not a writer. I don't do screenplays. Dwayne don't do screenplays. He's not a writer. It's only 10 episodes. But we always get 3 or 4 episodes in the middle of a season where you say, "Oh, okay, this wasn't even a okay. This wasn't even a filler episode." What we say, this was just bad.
what was the intrigue of this episode? It's like, come on, man. Like I just hate the way that they doing Jake and Papa, and this was supposed to be the final season. Like, well, this is the final. The only thing I can say with these little kids is maybe she's setting up a spinoff, but you gonna retell a story that's already been told with a new
Shoot,
agenda.
even with Jake Papa and Kevin, they weren't getting high and stuff back then when they were that little. Once you at least they grew on us a little bit, and you started seeing them experimenting. Like, remember, Kevin turned up his nose at the thought of even liking Maisha. Man, that was cute. That was what we would expect natural as those kids was growing
And I
up.
mean, they did
This
some dumb shit. They had Kev still in high school being Ned the Wino, drinking alcohol out of a brown paper bag, smoking, and all that. He was still in high school. So I don't know. Maybe this is a Chicago thing. Maybe I just don't
you know
understand.
supporting gaming. I'm gonna tell you something, right, bro? Like, and I mean this with all honesty when I say this, supporting gaming. Dwayne, Keisha, and myself, we live some very interesting lives. And what I mean by that is that we're all three private. And it's a point I'm making why I've got to tell you this. We're all three private. We socialize with family and friends. But when we're home, when we're in our home, we watch a lot of TV, a lot of sports, me and Dwayne, and a lot of shows. A lot of different shows, different types of shows. When we criticize, like Dwayne said, when we criticize and critique the Shy, let's get it. Let's be honest. The Shy is the reason why we started doing reviews. When we criticize other shows, know that we're being critical of them. We're comparing them to other stuff. Not saying that it's the same type of movie or series or docu, but we believe that yes, we're lay people, right? But we know quality stuff. We can watch cinema and be like, oh, it's cheap studio. Like Nemesis. That's a Courtney's joint. But I could clearly see that her work with stars is different than her work with Netflix from a studio standpoint on the odds. You got to remember, when Courtney was part of Power, they didn't do no scenes during the day. Nemesis had scenes during the day. So it
Mm.
was different on the eye and different how they did with production. So I say that to say that when we criticize, when we give these ratings, we're really being as honest and true. Like this is basically a phone conversation that me and Dwayne would be having. We just happen to be on YouTube or a phone conversation with Keisha. Keisha been over it since episode 2. Keisha's hard on the female actors. Like, what are we doing here? So I say that to say, like Dwayne said, that as people, consumers, we need to hold these people that we consume their product to do better. We pay their salary. Whether people realize it or not, we do. They want to brag, and this is what I get upset about certain shows. Oh, I'm number one rating in my genre. I'm number one this. I'm number one that. No, your show is trash. Your show is not going against primetime TV. We're critical on Chicago PD, and we don't even do reviews of Chicago PD, but we're critical. We're hard on Chicago PD because we all three of us watch. We just don't do a review show on Chicago PD. So I say that to say these shows not to do. Yes, supporting game, and that's it right there. That is the comment. They underestimate the viewer's intelligence. That's it. That's it.
They do like the problem I have with especially with Lena and the people at the shop. And I don't want to do no copyright infringement. You can say the thing that you normally say with that. But it's like the movie Men in Black. When they do that little thing and they click it and you forget everything that you would have seen. This is what they do with the shop. Forget about what you seen in the previous season. A flash of that thing. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. Trig wasn't a straight killer when he first stepped on the scene. You know, letting Jake punch him in the face. Oh, you got it out your system. They softened up a gangster. They made him R&B Trig. We need the nigga with attitude Trig that first stepped on the scene.
So much so where he started going by Victor and got an expungement and became an alderman.
Right. But old Trig would have stepped to Smitty and Mike and been like, watch your mouth, talking to her. But it is what it is, man.
But the funniest thing is that Smitty told Nuck in episode 4, it may be your girl that kill you. But we supposed to forget about all that. Yeah. The scene with Reg, with Rashad, when you really think about it, that should have been last year. Reg should have been trying to get back in with his brothers. We know that because that's natural. That's how Reg was raised. Reg don't even understand that Trig came back to town to take care of Jake and find out what happened to him. But y'all went a different way. We went down this road with y'all. That's like we was following them down a one-way street. They knew it was a one-way street. We didn't know it was a one-way street. They said follow us. And then once they got to the end of the street, they said, oh, my bad. We got to go back the other way. That's what the shot be doing. Like Dwayne said. And deep down inside, maybe we might need to see Will Smith and them pop out and hit a button and just be like, yo, you forgot about everything. But look, we ain't going to belabor it. Dwayne gave it a 1. Supporting gave it a .9999, a negative 9999. I gave it a 2, and that's only for the film and the actors. Any final thoughts, Dwayne?
I mean, I don't know where to go from here, man. Like, you look at these coming attractions, and Keisha's whole focus ain't even on her wedding. It's on, where's Nuck? Have you heard from Nuck? Bakari, have you heard from Nuck? Like, she's so worried about this man. And you got Emmett at home. Like, when Emmett gonna be like, yo, you keep asking about him for? I know you got a son with him and all that, but and Tiff can't be a boss. She ain't strong enough. She's showing more and more each day. She ain't strong enough. And which story do we want to wrap up? That's the question I'm leaving everybody with. How are we? Which stories are we closing in the next 4 episodes? Your guess is as good as mine. Guess that's what we'll do. We'll wait.
West. I go by the name of P. Grant. And I'll be your host for the evening. They say it's all about